Auto-enrollment lets you push certificates to users and computers automatically, using the same Active Directory tools you already manage. In this module, you'll configure auto-enrollment with group policy, connect it to templates and permissions, and then verify everything using logs and command line tools. Up to this point, you've learned core PKI concepts, built an AD lab, installed an Enterprise CA, and practiced manual enrollment. You now have every building block needed for true, at-scale automation. In this module, we'll bring those pieces together with group policy, templates, and properly configured CRL and AIA paths, so certificates just appear where they're needed. Manual enrollment is fine for a lab or a small number of systems, but it doesn't scale. Every request, approval, installation, and renewal requires someone to repeat the same steps, which slows things down and increases the chance of mistakes. Auto-enrollment moves that work into policy. Once you define which templates apply to which users and computers, the domain automatically requests, installs, and renews certificates. That keeps coverage consistent and dramatically reduces unexpected expirations. You can think of auto-enrollment as a chain of steps. Group policy tells the Windows client which certificate templates it should auto-enroll for. The client then reads those templates from Active Directory to learn what kind of certificate is needed and who's allowed to get it. Next, it sends a request to the Enterprise CA, but only for templates that CA is configured to issue. Finally, the CA issues the certificate and the client stores it locally. Another way to see that chain is as a set of conditions that all must be true. First, the computer or user has to be in scope of a GPO that enables auto-enrollment. If the GPO doesn't apply, nothing else matters. Next, the certificate template must grant read, enroll, and auto-enroll permissions to that identity. Finally, the Enterprise CA must publish and issue that template. All of this only works if the client is domain joined and can reach both Active Directory and the CA over the network. Template permissions act like a security gate in front of auto-enrollment. Read allows an account to see that the template exists. Enroll lets that account manually request a certificate from the template. Auto-enroll adds automation, so certificates are requested and renewed without user action. Auto-enrollment only succeeds when all three permissions are granted. Assign these rights to well-defined security groups, such as dedicated auto-enroll groups, instead of broad groups like everyone or domain users, so you tightly control who receives certificates. You also need to decide who is actually getting the certificate, the machine or the person. Computer auto-enrollment runs under the local system account and stores certificates in the local computer store. Those certificates are used for things like RDP, YFF, or VPN authentication, IPsec, and server TLS identity. User auto-enrollment runs in the signed-in user's context and puts certificates in the current user store, supporting scenarios like smart card logon, document signing, encryption, and user authentication. Certificate auto-enrollment is configured entirely through group policy, once for computers and once for users. For computers, go to Computer Configuration, Policies, Windows Settings, Security Settings, then Public Key Policies. For users, follow the same path under User Configuration. In both locations, open Certificate Services Client Auto-Enrollment and enable it. Then rely on linked GPOs and security filtering to decide exactly which devices and users receive certificates. For computer certificates, auto-enrollment lets domain machines manage their own certs without admin intervention. Start by scoping a GPO only to the computers that actually need certificates. Then enable the computer auto-enrollment setting and select options to renew expired certificates and update them when templates change. Finally, confirm those computer accounts have read, enroll, and auto-enroll permissions on the template. Without those rights, the entire process fails silently. User auto-enrollment follows a similar pipeline, but is scoped to people instead of devices. First, target your GPO to the users who should receive certificates, either by linking it to their OU or using security filtering. Next, enable the user auto-enrollment policy and verify the template grants read, enroll, and auto-enroll to the appropriate user groups. After that, when those users log on or refresh group policy, their certificates are issued silently into the current user personal certificate store. After you've duplicated a template, set its permissions, and linked the GPO, There's one last critical step: publishing the template on the Enterprise CAA. Until it's published, the CA doesn't know it's allowed to issue that certificate at all. Use the Certification Authority console to add the template to the list of templates to issue. Only then will enrollment, including auto-enrollment, succeed. Always confirm the template appears as available on the CA before troubleshooting anything else. Once everything is configured, Group Policy takes care of certificates at Startup, Logon, and Policy Refresh. The client first discovers applicable certificate templates and enrollment policies in Active Directory. It then checks whether the user or computer has permission to enroll. If allowed, it builds and sends a request to the Enterprise CA, receives the issued certificate, and installs it in the correct store. Later, the same sequence runs again to renew certificates automatically before they expire. To verify auto-enrollment, begin by forcing a group policy refresh with gpupdate/force. For computer certificates, open certlm.msc and check the Personal Certificates folder. For user certificates, open certmgr.msc and look in the Personal store. Confirm that the subject name, issuer, enhanced key usage, and validity dates match your template. If nothing appears right away, log off and back on, or reboot to trigger another enrollment attempt before digging deeper. When auto-enrollment fails, think in terms of symptom, cause, tool, and next action. Start by checking Event Viewer for auto-enrollment or group policy errors. If no new events appear, run certutipulse to force processing, then check the logs again. Next, verify whether the certificate arrived using certuti-store-my. From there, map what you see to common causes such as missing auto-enroll permissions, unpublished templates, incorrect GPO scope, or connectivity issues between the client, Active Directory, and the CA. Auto-enrollment only works when three elements line up. The template is correctly secured, it's published on the Enterprise CA, and the right group policy targets your users and computers. Always validate with GPUpdate, the certificate stores, Event Viewer, and certutil before making changes. In the next module, you'll focus on securing validation by configuring CRL and AIA locations.